Trump has just slapped India with a 50% tariff.
Indian news everywhere is complaining about how hypocritical these tariffs are. I'm not going to focus on that today. I'm going to talk about who hurts more. In the short and medium term, the answer is simple. India. The goods that are being tariffed are very easy for the US to replace. It's like textiles, carpets, and jewelry. And on the Indian side, those are the goods that employ people who are generally poorer. Textiles alone employs 45 million people in India. And the way this is going to show up in the top line figures is that India's growth might slow down, say from 6.5% to maybe 5.5% worst case scenario, which by the way would still leave it the fastest growing G20 economy. But long term, there is a different story here. Check out this chart. It shows GDP at purchasing power parity of the US, Western Europe, India, and China. In 1980, the US plus Western Europe accounted for more than half of the world's GDP. India and China together accounted for about 5%. But the world is changing. Next year, for the first time in hundreds of years, the GDP of India and China together is going to be more than that of the US and Western Europe combined. And I know what some of you who read a little bit of economics are thinking, this is at purchasing power parity and it could be nominal, but purchasing power parity is a glimpse into the future because nominal GDP catches up with purchasing power parity. This is called the Balassa-Samuelson effect. Any potential spat with the US might alter slightly the trajectory of India, but it's not changing the story. From the Western perspective, it has been in multiple US administrations and European administrations' interest to ensure that India either aligns against China, and this is what the West has been doing for the last 20 years or so, or at least that India remains an independent actor. Now, what Trump's tariffs have done is send a message to India that it needs more options, and China is an obvious one of those options. In a few weeks, Prime Minister Modi is going to China to speak with Xi Jinping. So the question that Trump needs to ask himself is, as these 1.5 billion Indians come into this new world, where they become a center of gravity economically, politically, militarily, does he, and I guess the West more broadly, want these people to come into this world thinking of the West as valuable partners and friends who sped up their journey to get there? Or that these people think of the West as the people who tried to hold them back? Multiple people in both the Republican and Democratic Party and in Europe know this, but Trump is kind of his own force here. So circling back to the original question, who hurts more here? Short term, India for sure. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now, it's probably the US.
But if I had to pick one clear winner from this spat, it's obviously China.